Here we are, Scrap Brain Zone, the most unforgiving Sonic level I've ever played. Here's the first impression you have. Welcome to the final level. Oh look, some rings! Fuck you. The background art is a dark industrial city with blinking skyscrapers and pulsating red lights. I mentioned earlier in the video that despite having a natural tone overall, the game makes this gradual, subtle progression towards the suggestion that the future can become this bleak dystopian concrete jungle if we lose sight of the value of organic life and nature. I'm sure the message doesn't mean to come off as preachy. It was just a simple plot for the time. I think we can all agree that nature and sunlight are good, and super spinny death machines and smokestack factories are bad. I just like how most Sonic games utilize this theme, which I'll touch upon in future videos. By the way, I started this analysis video with the intention of being primarily objective and not judging the game or calling anything shitty. But fuck man, this level is just a mess! No matter what you do, there's always a way to get hurt. The level punishes you for trying to be fast by sticking flames and sharp machinery in your way, while also electrifying you when you fall off a platform or get stuck in a pit. The level also punishes you for going slowly by making platforms vanish quickly or by dumping you into more dangerous areas if you can't figure out how these weird fucking spinny step things work. Hell, even when you think you can get around some of the level designs, the game throws you a giant fuck you for trying to outsmart it. After you beat Act 2, Robotnik shows up like a true douche nozzle and pulls a switch that dumps you into Act 3. A bleakly recolored version of Labyrinth Zone, which I assume was supposed to be a dystopian sewer. Yuji Naka said they would have made a dedicated background for Act 3, but due to space and time constraints, they just recycled assets from Labyrinth Zone. And I get that Scrap Brain Zone and the recolored sewer level are supposed to be a difficult last stage where you fight your way back up to the surface before you destroy the final boss, so it's not designed to be easy in the slightest, but it's such an anticlimactic ordeal that it gives it that feeling of, let's just fucking get this over with already. Finally, you happen upon the final boss room, where Robotnik is apparently embedded in these metal piston things that he tries to crush you with, and afterwards shoots a bunch of electric spark balls that lazily but ineffectively hone in on you. It's not difficult or intense or intimidating, it just kind of feels random and reliant upon dumb luck. One piston will have Robotnik in it, and the other won't, so you just have to jump at one of the pistons and hope it's the right one, while also avoiding being crushed by either. The most unpleasant part of this final boss battle is how it feels slightly bugged. Apparently bouncing off of him will save you from getting crushed by the miscellaneous piston, but if you aren't already moving when he comes down on you, the game isn't as forgiving. I actually just stayed to the right most of the time, and waited until Robotnik gave me the opportunity to hit him. Even though it took longer, I didn't have to keep dying, so that was preferable. Once you finally get him, he tries to fly off, and you can hit him with one last attack. Then Sonic just kind of watches him fly off. How am I gonna get home? The last shot shows Sonic frolicking with his now free animal buddies before jumping towards the camera with a victorious mid-air pose. While the credits roll, the game shows a bunch of B-roll footage from the levels. One or two of them actually showed the ideal way to play the level, like Scrap Brain Zone Act 2 showing the proper way to use those spinny ramp things by rolling up into a ball and building momentum, which was way more effective than the way I tried to do it. How the fuck? And then finally, the last screen shows Robotnik juggling any of the Chaos Emeralds you didn't pick up yourself. Since I only got 2 on this playthrough, he's juggling the other 4. Yeah, apparently the whole 7 Chaos Emeralds thing was the result of a Sega retcon for some reason, because there were originally only 6. I guess having an uneven number of super significant magic jewels made them seem more mystical. I failed to mention earlier that collecting 50 rings by the end of a level will make a giant ring appear, and if you jump into it, it leads you to the special stage, where you have to make it to the Chaos Emerald while avoiding the goal zones, which aren't so much of a goal as much as a game over, since touching them effectively ends the level. The background is curiously dreamlike, which I believe hinted at Oshima's fascination with dream worlds, and I only just realized it, but the background changes from blocks into hummingbirds and then fish. I wonder why they chose just those 2. The level itself is super difficult to navigate if you don't know what to do, but there actually are some rules. I always thought of it as some kind of gigantic jumbled mess that was more luck than anything, but most bumpers do something. The standard peppermint bumpers are a safe platform for you to land on and jump off of, while the star bumpers will send you flying off in an undesirable direction. The R bumpers reverse the rotation direction if you touch them, and the up and down bumpers speed up the actual rotation speed, although I can't actually tell if they do anything. The transparent peppermint bumpers are essentially a gateway that you need to pass through before they'll solidify and lock you in, which is a surefire sign that you're headed in the right direction. And then finally, the Chaos Emerald is encased in several layers of colored gems that change their hue from blue to green to yellow and then red before disappearing. I like these stages now because they represent a decent challenge that isn't too cheap or unfair, but as a kid, I hated these stages for giving me so much anxiety, and if you screwed it up, you were as good as done. Then the next level starts like, oh, you want to retry? Too bad, fucko. This is the real world. Your wife got shot, live with it. There are no second chances. Wow, what the fuck is wrong with me? The only difference you see if you get all the Chaos Emeralds shows during the credits. This time, the Chaos Emeralds appear before spinning around in the air and disappearing. Then Sonic's like, what the fuck? Oh well. Well, that's Sonic 1 for you. A great prototype that didn't hit every target it wanted to, but it created a lot of great memories for people and helped Sega keep up with Nintendo in the 80s and 90s, so it's undoubtedly a success in basically every way. There was also some shitty port of it on the Game Boy Advance that I won't be covering because I'd rather spend that money on PBR. Get it? Because that's a shitty beer? And it would still be a better investment than Sonic 1 on the Game Boy Advance? Thanks for watching my Sonic 1 video. Next up is Sonic 2. If you liked the video, feel free to give me a like and consider subscribing. I promise you won't regret it. I'm gonna be doing a lot more Sonic videos in the future, so I hope my tears won't be shed in vain. Go on, subscribe! You know you wanna!